Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Advancers Round. We are at Spare Time Entertainment Center in Owatonna, Minnesota. Hopefully you've been following us through the day.
We got quite a few homies in this group.
Yeah.
Chad Owatonna, Dave Owatonna,
Yeah.
Riley Owatonna, Ryan Burr Owatonna.
And I'm trying to count the number. It must be, is it 17? I believe it's the top 17 that we had from our previous qualifying squad. We had 2 of them today. Here you can see the final results there. And Dave Ullman really dominated this event. He is 99 pins out in front of his closest challenger, Briley Howe, and did not have a game below 198 all day. So on an incredibly tough condition like this, that's quite a score. I'm motioning Terry to come into the frame.
I was watching Chad because it looks like he has a sore hip.
Yeah. So you can see us here. That's okay. Good evening, everyone. Looks like my oh yeah, that's right. I moved my other tripod over, so now you can see it in the shot. But we're doing the best we can here. But yeah, Andrew Pfeffer, Terry Howe, bringing you the final stages here of Champions Pro Shop Open.
I have a prediction.
Okay.
I think Chad's going to end up in second for the Stepladder.
Okay.
Just a prediction.
He's, he didn't have the greatest start, and he clawed his way back in with a huge 6th game of qualifying. And that's just something you come to expect after a while.
I feel like he looked up at the speedometer and went, "Oh yeah, I need about 5 more miles per hour."
Yeah, not quite fast enough, I guess.
Zoom.
I guess it's time to put the pedal down. But he did, and ended up in 5th place, and plenty good enough to join us in the Advancers round here. Again, just behind Matt Payne, Brady Stearns, Briley Howe, and of course Dave Ullman, who are all out here right now finishing up their practice.
I do have a favorite though.
Yeah.
Well, maybe today goes.
Should be pretty.
You have the same name as that Briley Howe.
Should be
Are you
pretty
related?
Pretty easy to guess, right?
Yeah.
They
Yes,
have.
ma'am. Gave birth to him.
They have re-oiled the lanes since last we wrapped at you, and this is the pattern we're using, the 2023 U.S. Open pattern number 1. It's proven to be very challenging.
Ugly.
Lots of opens out there, lots of spares, and very few strikes for everyone not named Dave Ullman. But it has been a great tournament, run very well, and guys are, the guys that you're going to see here have found their groove in one way, shape, or form, whether it's fading it away to the 1-3, Brandon Cryer taking plastic to the ditch.
I'm only laughing because it's just like both of us. When I looked at it the first time, I was just like, holy, where'd that come from?
Yeah.
It looks like he's got either urethane or reactive back in his hand again, though. I think.
Okay.
I think he's chosen to rule out plastic, which I think is a good decision.
Yeah. Yeah. It's 4 games, and the pins do carry over. So you'll have guys who are, way plus, and others who have got some work to do. Don Lucy, who is on our live stream pair right now, you just saw him throw on lane 12. He is in 17th at minus 70. So you've essentially got a 200 pin difference between Him and Dave Ullman, who's at plus 139.
In over 4 games, that's
A lot.
a bit of a challenge.
That's a lot. But it's top 5 getting into the stepladder, so everybody's got their shot at it. And with 1,300 smackers up top, there is plenty to play for.
I mean, it was Shelby put in 1,500, Shelby Dino, and we had Riley Howard. Well, I guess I own that shop too. So Champions Pro Shop put in $1,000 today.
Yeah.
It was very funny because he sent me to the bank to get the $1,000, and he goes, "Mom, do you know the account number?" Seriously?
Don't get that wrong.
Seriously? I'm not taking it out of my account.
Right.
You have more money than I do.
Yeah.
But yeah, this breakdown of 1,300, 1,100, 900, 800, 700, 650, normally tournaments like this, you see a big drop off. But when you have $2,500 in added prize money, I mean, this is one heck of a breakdown here for the prize funds.
Yeah. And with it being the first year of this event and something that Briley told us on the live stream, this is something we intend to do every year. You can only hope for bigger and better in years to come.
I agree, and I'm sure it will, because this has run very smoothly. And my only question is, going into this next qualifying piece with carryover pins, 200 pins are a little hard to make up in 4 games, but then again, if they earned it, is it the MJBT, I think, that they have carryover pins? No, or they don't. I can't remember.
I'm not sure. I know back in my day, MJBT did not. WSBC, which was the junior tour that I bowled on in Wisconsin, did.
Right. So GISBT out of Iowa does carry over.
Okay.
MJBT does not carry over.
Gotcha. So, and I don't think there are bonus pins in this, right? Is it just I
don't believe so.
4 games.
I believe it's straight 4 games. Because there's no one bowling anyone.
Right. It's 2 and 3 on a pair. So
I think it's just straight up top 5 go on to stepladder.
Right. You've got some folks like Phil Stellmaker, who's up here on 11, who have been they've been sitting since 12 this afternoon.
Right.
So getting back into it tonight, and others like Chad Nelson, who's on our live stream pair, coming fresh off the last qualifying block.
And he said he slept in this morning. Which is sheer confidence that he didn't feel he would be bowling back, right?
Yeah.
Actually, I think he said he was out in the garage working on something. So
okay.
I don't picture him slowing down much.
It's really turned into a productive day for him.
Yeah. Well, I did notice though when he went to grab a ball out of his bag, he kind of hip is sore, and I know he's had a lot of trouble with his left hip. So hopefully, I know he's been doctoring for it, and
so the 3 you're looking at here on the live stream pair, we mentioned Lucy, who's minus 70 coming in, Stellmaker minus 37, and Nelson plus 13. So they represent the 5th seed, the 11 seed, and the 17 seed of our 17-man advancers round.
Well, here's what I'm hoping too. We have fresh oil again. I'm hoping this group here kind of gives us a little bit of a show, because now they kind of know where to start, and this group is pretty talented. I'm hoping that, the lanes will maybe transition a little bit closer to what they should be played at. But then again, when you look at that dark flatness, I guess, how do you determine how it's supposed to break down?
Right. You do your best and hope your best is enough.
Everybody got together beforehand and said, let's just throw over second arrow.
Yep.
They did not. I'm kidding. Another digger too that we can't forget about is Ryan Burr. He was down there quite a ways too, dug himself up to the top, and he will claw himself into the step ladder if at all possible. So
Sure.
Yeah, I definitely would have wanted to bowl both shifts just to keep from getting stiff. Brady too. I got to talk to Brady. It was about 6 months ago now, but I know Chad was saying that every time they're together, he thinks through a process or something in this game, and he is so incredibly intelligent.
Yeah.
And it is. You have to be an athlete. You have to have strong enough legs to make sure you're not just this big Gumby, because that's hard on your body.
Yeah.
But you also have to be very smart.
Yep. And you mentioned Brady. He's calculated. He's gonna, take a few shots and figure out this pattern, and then he's gonna go out there and absolutely destroy it somehow.
Yeah.
Because he's that good.
This is gonna go fast, though. I never thought about it.
Yeah, with only 3 on a pair, it should go pretty quick. And then the top 5 will be in our stepladder final, which will be right here on our live stream pair, 11 and 12, on this same video. So we may pause in between the end of the advancers round and the beginning of the stepladder just to gather scores, catch our breath a little bit, and then we're headed for the finish.
It looks like we have Brandon Pryor. I think he does 8 spare, 3 in a row, 9 count. So what's happening is what I thought would happen. They're starting out a little bit stronger this go around.
Mm-hmm. And I noticed that it's either the last shot or the shot before, he wasn't throwing plastic on the first ball.
Oh, he was? He did throw?
Was not.
He was not. That's what I thought.
See, there it is on the chair right there. He's throwing
but that's,
a high-performance ball. And I say high-performance because I don't know if it's reactive or
I know.
your thing. Looks like a reactive reaction.
I just think it's you're gonna. I don't know. When the shot is super tough, it's like the one thing I had a lesson with Parker a long time ago, and one thing that I took out of what he said was when the pair is god awful, pick up whatever you can throw right down the middle. Leave yourself a 9 that you can pick up and pick up your spare.
Sure.
Because 9 spare across the board is 190.
Yep.
And you're going to lap the field by 60 pins on that pair because most people are going to try to continue to play the pair the way they played.
Yeah. And case in point, if you did that over and over today, you'd be here right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so, well, he's getting that ball to roll out right at the pocket. So I'm wondering if the pair before the live stream at Squad B, if he maybe had to use his plastic for some reason and saw a good reaction and then kind of tried to continue it onto this pair. This pair just didn't want it. So
Sure.
It didn't react the same.
So Lucy, you can just see his score at the top of the screen, 63 through 3 with a spare in the 4th. Oh, and thank you for pointing that out, Jennifer. Loose is pronounced loose, not Lucy.
Oh.
I appreciate that. As someone with a last name that gets butchered a lot.
Hello. Yeah, I said my maiden name was Miller. Nobody ever gets how correct.
Right.
it's Haig and half. And
Yep. No, totally appreciate that, Jennifer, and thanks for tuning in live. Those of you who are on live, you can see that live chat right under the video window. Feel free to chime in. Let us know where you're watching from, who you're cheering for. We will help you shout them out.
I think Mr. Powers, what was his first name?
Ryan?
I think Ryan Powers also had 3 in a row over on 17 and 18.
Okay.
9 spare, 9 spare, turkey, 9 spare, 9. Oh, Ryan.
And these pairs of players will move one to the right. So the 3 you have here on the live stream pair right now will cross with each other through the entire 4 games. Brady Gustafson chiming in. Chad Nelson and Brady Stearns are my heroes. You picked some good ones. I would expect nothing less. Brady's been to many of these events around the state.
Where are you, Brady? You should be here.
You should be here. Saw him recently at a That's What I Do event at Concord. And of course, he was at Wagner's for the WYBT MJBT border battle. Good player.
Sure is. I didn't see what Brandon got that time. Did he strike?
Nope.
9 count.
Ring 7.
Yeah, looks like Mr. Ryan Powers just got out of a big split. Is that Matt Payne with a double or? Oh, turkey.
Yes.
Matt's in 4.
He's coming in as the 4 seed, so Brady said he was going to go but have something pop up, so wasn't able to make it.
Seriously, Brady, what could have popped up that's more important than hanging out with us today?
See, I would have said, well, that's unfortunate, but we'll see you at the Lacrosse Open or the Rochester Match Games.
I'm going to give you crap. Andrew's nice. I'm not.
This is how good cop, bad cop works. Amanda Lindgren says, hi, Terry.
Hello. See, now Donald Lewis, he's up there.
Yeah.
So I want to vote on him. I want to vote for him.
Okay.
I want to vote for the old guy.
See, I like that. That is on brand right there. Brock, shame on you, Brady. Brock is great. He's been on the show too. You can find his episode.
Brock is injured?
Past.
What?
Yep. He told me about that. Yep. Says he only missed because of injury.
Not good. That takes out a good player, good tournament player.
Yeah. We hope he feels better soon and can get back on the lanes. In the meantime, he was a great ball rep for me at that tournament at Concord. Helped me make a cut for a change.
Yay! Oh. 2 in a row by Chad.
I don't wrong with it.
You can see everybody's just watching.
Yeah.
Thinking.
It's a lot.
Cody Larson
Often.
struggling.
Off on 14. See the pinfall there. Nick Heileman hitting the first strike in the 10th. He can double up and get into the 200s with count.
Spare strike, and Brandon will be 228.
228.
Brandon Cryer. Should say at a 228 pace.
Briley's got a nice string going.
I should be watching him right now.
He's hit the
I'm better off not.
He's hit the last 4 and still has a shot at 245 up there.
Or 5. Briley, the first time Briley shot 300, he was 12, I think. And it was at Treasure Island. And I watched it from behind a candy machine. Because I knew if he saw me, he would know it was important.
Yeah.
Oh, darn it. His mental game has since strengthened itself, so I could probably go watch him now.
Okay. So 227 for Brandon Cryer. A nice start to this advancers round. Riley's going to be in the 230s.
234. Ryan Powers looks like he could be in the 230s also. $25 maybe. Can't see it from here.
Okay. Ullman just doubled in the 10th. He's still got 187 out there, which is fine. I mean, he's
got such a big lead.
He's the guy at the table with the big mound of chips that can just kind of bully his way to the final.
Oh. A big 810 for Phil Stillmaker. 225 for Ryan Powers.
Okay. So there are some nice scores in this advancers round. I can't say that we've had a start like this in the 2 qualifying squads.
No.
So
it looks like Cody Larson shot 169 and Jared Bushman 189. I think one of the most important things when there's only 3 to a pair is these guys need to set their own tempo.
Yeah.
And not let anyone else set it for them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Riley made up 50 pins though on Dave. Mm-hmm. That's a big swing.
Yeah.
That puts Riley at 1274 and Dave at 1326.
Amanda Burr says, "Go Ryan," cheering on Ryan Burr, who I think we may see toward the end of the advancer round. Maybe not.
He was just over on 15 and 16.
Okay, then we won't. Unfortunately, we won't see him because he'll go 17, 18, and then over to 7 and 8 and 9 and 10. But if he can make it to the stepladder, then he'll be here.
I didn't see what Ryan shot. Did you see what Ryan shot? Is he the 143? Ryan Bird? No bueno.
No bueno. He's in the 140s. Okay. But again, you got 3 more games after this to get things.
184 by Rob Downer.
Okay.
A little bit of shifting.
Once the scores get updated, we will bring you those game 1 results. And
so we got 20. We still probably have about a 50-pin swing between Briley and Dave.
And you're talking about, the pace of play. I mean, some of these guys are already starting game 2.
Right. And, some people like it. Some people like fast play, but some people don't realize they get caught up in fast play, too. And then they're like, who do you have? You have Jared and Cody by themselves, on a pair by themselves. And they have to watch it.
In the last game of this advancers round, we're going to have the current tournament leader, Dave Ullman, on our live stream pair, along with Rob Downer and Ryan Powers.
Lane 15 and 16, they all started out with strikes.
So Chad Nelson covers his spare for 198. It's 184 for loose, and Stellmaker working on his 10th frame with a strike up. Still has 203 out there if he can hit the next 2.
Who had the 198?
Chad Nelson. So he will be at 192 after that first game. Again, every pair moves 1 to the right. Unlike in qualifying where you had one lane going one way and the other going the other way.
We got a lot of strikes going now. This group that's out here right now, though, you just expect them to excel.
Mm-hmm.
This is a really good group.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like you can't really see anybody who we're not at least vaguely familiar with.
Right.
And a lot of, really top-level decorated players.
Wow. Brandon Cryer starting out with 3 in a row.
He's got a nice look over there, and that move to reactive absolutely paying off.
Brady Stearns just missed a spare. Missed an 8 count.
So now we've got Brandon Hasley, who just threw the strike on 12. Matt Payne, who was up on 11. And Doug Updegraft, about to start his game on 12. Nice trip 2-pin for Payne, who started this out in 4th.
Yeah, today you need to be able to repeat.
Yeah.
And you'll see it. You'll see one amazing shot and everything carries, and then the next shot, not so much. Ooh, Riley. 4-7-10. That's okay.
Yeah.
Brandon Cryer leaving a 3-pin after a turkey.
Payne aced that one to take full advantage of that trip 2 in the first.
There's such a difference between games here. Like Brandon Hasley, pretty straight player. And then, granted Brandon Cryer's a left-hander, but he's moving across half the lane as a lefty. So that's about as extreme as you can get.
Sure. I mean, obviously Chad puts enough on it. He can play in. Brady Stearns can play in. Heilman. Yeah. There are some contrasting styles, but it just goes to show there's a way for everybody. They just got to find it.
Exactly.
Oh, loose. If you saw the 1-5-10 that he just picked up on lane 13.
What was it?
So Don Luce was up on lane 13, left a 1-5-10, and picked it up.
I believe Brady. I think Brady has a turkey over there. 3 up. This is way more exciting than watching the start of A squad and B squad. It's like my head's going both ways.
Right.
Like, ah.
you've got half as many players on each pair, and half of them are throwing strikes. Things move pretty fast.
Ew. Brady just left the rail on the right side, I think. He is not liking the left lane for some reason. He's not liking 17. Where is Dave at? Is Dave C?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah, he's C. So he has 77 through 4 with, it's like a 4-pin that he's shooting.
Again, Dave Oman looks really relaxed, like
Yeah.
walking in the park, and he's got room to walk in the park.
I feel like I have never really seen him not look like that. But it makes a lot of sense today.
Yeah, he isn't a man of many emotions.
Yeah, but he can knock down some pins.
This is true.
Yeah.
Riley, another 3 in a row. You may tighten this up.
There's a nice break for
I'm waiting
Brandon
for the
Hasley.
Update.
So as Terry goes to try and find the update here, I'll remind you that the top 5 will head to a stepladder final, and that'll be here on our live stream pair, 11 and 12. You can catch that live right here. Matt Payne working on a double on 12. Half pocket and snaps out the 10 but leaves the 8. These guys will all be taking home a check, so that's good for everyone in this advancers round. Top prize, we're looking at $1,300.
Let the scoring ride. They're just going to collect these sheets after game 4, so it's
Okay.
kind of up to us to watch it, I guess. Ooh, Briley, tough game. 179. He had a turkey in there too. I think that's Briley. Where are we at with Chad?
Let's see. He has 48 through 3
Yeah, right.
with a strike and
17
8.
and 18 is finished already.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. And then 9 and 10 only has 2 guys on it, and they'll be on the live stream pair next, so that'll go fast.
And they're not even bowling pro style. They're both on the approach at the same time. So, whee! Ooh, Cody. Pretty sure I'm getting a suntan from these lights. In the bathroom,
They're
I'm like,
bright.
oh, look at that. My cheeks are so much pinker. Looks like Brady had a 202, I think.
No, he's up right now. I think he can be in the 220s with a strike here. Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Put it through the nose, so he'll be in the high 2 teens. Is that 218 maybe?
Yep. And Ryan's struggling again. 150, I think.
Okay.
Ryan Burr. Brandon could have a 237.
So Ullman left a baby split, took 1 off of it, and then followed it up with a double in the 8th and 9th. He can punch out for 215. That was the pinfall you saw to the far left on lane 8.
And now we're shuffling. Brandon, 226 for Brandon Cryer, 192 for, I think, Nick Heilman. I wish our system here would allow names to rotate.
Yeah.
Especially like right now, it'd be fun to be able to see it all.
Sure.
30, 60, 92, one more, and 215 for Dave Ullman. $212 for Dave Ullman.
Picked a good spot to put one through the face.
Absolutely. Looks like 150 for Cody and 164 for Jared Bushman. Kyo Yoon. Also struggling. You can ask Al, he might do it.
So into the 10th frame of game 2 we go here.
Oh my God.
That was Don Luce who threaded the needle.
Oh my God.
Right back through the 2-7.
Right between it.
If you couldn't hear that, he yelled, "I haven't done that in forever." It's hard to do.
The look on his face was precious.
So Brandon Hasley with a spare to start out his 10th frame. He can get to 173 with a strike on the fill ball. Matt Payne, even a baby split. He can get into the 190s if he can cover it up and get count. And he gets one out of that, so he will end up with a 188. Meanwhile, 172 for Hasley. And up to Graft. Can still shoot 211 if he can punch out. He goes up high, leaves a 3-pin, so he'll be sub 200 in this second game here of the advancers round. Got Jared Bushman and Cody Larson waiting in the settee area to get on to game 3 here.
They had a little bit of trouble with the software, so they're updating it now, and Al's gonna get scores, and they're going to update. They're going to give us after the second game of advance around total.
Oh, cool. Okay, good. And once we get that, we will pass it along to you.
That's the one thing I love about Mark Hill behind the computer. Never have to worry. Things just always work out.
Yeah. So 2 games of this 4-game advancers round in the books. And if you're just joining us, this 4-game block will determine our top 5 and the participants for our Stepladder final here on 11 and 12. And along with a champion that will be determined here, you will find out who gathers the most points in the quadruple crown, the 10K Larson Siding, Windows, and Roofing quadruple crown. You get qualifying points and finishing triple points, and you could have a total of 100 here. And that goes toward the year-end prize fund with a jackpot of $1,000. So plenty still at stake, as you need 3 of the events in the quadruple crown to qualify for that year-end prize fund. So here we go into game 3, and this one will go by quick because we only have 2 bowlers on our pair. We've got Cody Larson, who you can see just about to step up for his first shot on lane 11, and Jared Bushman, who will follow suit on lane 12. So the crowd has thinned out a little here in the concourse. once we get past the stepladder and crown a champion, hopefully we'll be able to have a word with him. Looking up and down the house, you've got Brady Stearns over on 7 and 8. Off to a pretty hot start. Hit the first 4, picked up a split, and then struck again. I don't believe, other than Cody Larson, there are any two-handers remaining in the field. Dave Ullman, our top seed for really the whole way for all we know. And yes, they have just put up some updated scores. And we'll bring those to you in just a moment here. So here's what that looks like right now. You've got a few positions switching here. Dave Ullman, our top seed, as I mentioned before. Still about 85 ahead of Briley Howe, his closest competitor. Brandon Cryer has gone 220, 220 to get to plus 48, and he sits in third place. Brady Stearns in fourth, and Matt Payne in fifth. So you can kind of see how things are all shaken up, because the place column in those numbers are their original seeds going into this 4-game advancers round. The two gentlemen you're watching here on our live stream pair, 11 and 12, Jared Bushman and Cody Larson, both have dropped a little ways. Bushman sitting at minus 66 and Larson minus 110. Ullman, again, our top seed, just hit 3 in a row over on 9 and 10. And you'll see him along with Rob Downer and Ryan Powers in our next match. Downer is pretty far down the list right now, but Powers, on the other hand, sits in 6th place after the second game of the advancers round. So a little work to do yet, but he's still got a shot at sneaking into the stepladder. So Ullman is up on lane 10 right now in his 9th frame. You can see the pinfall on the left side of the screen as he slides by the head pin and leaves a 1-2-8. He can go spare, strike, spare for 223. Briley Howe just struck on his fill ball in the 10th for a 168. Brady Stearns is up after him on that pair. He still has a shot at 244. If he can punch out in his 10th frame. And as you can see, Brady entered this game in 4th place. Only 11 pins out of 3rd, but he just went light and left a 2-4-10. So Brady Stearns with a 220 in that game. Ullman is finishing up on lane 9. He just aced the first shot in the 10th. He's still got a shot at 221. He can hit the next two. Chad Nelson off on lane 16 just hit a double. He's got 83 through 5 with that double up. And coming into this game, he was in 8th place. So he's coming off a 165 in that second game of the advancers round. He's going to have to put up a big number in the last game to and sneak into the stepladder. Ullman just kicked out the 10 for his third strike of that 10th frame, and he finishes with 221. So he is certainly cruising right now. And we will see him on the live stream pair right after we're done here with Cody Larson and Jared Bushman. So the pairs to our left are starting their final game. Riley Howe starting out with a strike on lane 10. So a couple more frames left in this third game of the advancers round with Cody Larson and Jared Bushman. Got Rob Downer, Ryan Powers, and Dave Ullman, who are finished with their third game, and will finish off the advancers round right here on our live stream pair of 11 and 12. Ullman has certainly cruised through qualifying and the early going in the advancers round. With a 221 in that last game. He'll be up to plus 160 going into the final game of this 4-game block. And you got to think it's not going to take much for him to remain the top seed going into the stepladder. So Cody Larson will finish that game with a 137. Bushman with that spare can still shoot 216 if he strikes on the fill ball. They'll move on to 13 and 14 for their final game, and we'll have our guys finish up here in just a moment. Off on 7 and 8, Brandon Cryer threw the first ball in the ditch, covered the spare, had another spare in the second, and then has doubled up since then. So Bushman finishes up with a 213. And we'll get on with the final game of this advancers round. And then get some scores tallied up and find out who will be the final 5 in the stepladder final for the Champions Pro Shop Open. So we'll get started with Ryan Powers up on lane 12. And again, he's got some work to do. He was in 6th after the second game of the advancers round. Trying to sneak into that 5-person stepladder. Dave Ullman, our top seed on the left, with a 1-2-10 to deal with. And Ullman gets the count. That's one of few frames that he's failed to fill today with either a strike or a spare. Powers, that deep inside line leaves a 2-pin. And here's Ullman on lane 12. Oh, that was a nice cover there from Jared Bushman of the 3-4-6-7. See it on lane 13 off to our right. This is Rob Downer on 11 working on a spare. Buries one. Just as he's been doing all day, you can see Ullman lining up that deep inside line, just fading it to the pocket and putting all 10 back. He's really done quite a job today of making it look easy on what has been a very challenging condition. And barring some kind of crazy swing over these last 7 frames, he will almost definitely be your number 1 seed heading into the stepladder.
Got a few minutes here.
All right. Got tournament director Al Houston here in the booth with me.
What, game 4 right now?
Yep, this is the last one. I was just saying, unless there's some crazy swing over these last 7 frames, it's going to be Dave Ullman in the top spot in the stepladder.
You know, I just been keeping it going, but when you have that big of a lead, you know, it's hard to catch him.
Yeah, it's a comfortable spot, and you know, he just casually walks up there. He plays that deep inside line, fades it to the pocket, and just pushes all 10 back.
Yep. And the best part is to get home, he only has to drive 5 minutes.
That is good. Here he is on lane 12.
Look at how tight that is.
Yeah.
Just kind of this laser and trip him around.
Somebody early on, I think it was Briley, said that he told him he was just aiming at the 2-pin.
Aiming at the 2-pin?
Or must be at the 3-pin. I mean, yeah, he's certainly not covering a lot of boards. He's just floating it in there, and ball's doing the job.
Now it's time to breathe a little bit. We got all the money coordinated. That's my favorite part. So now it's kind of like, now you get to enjoy the moment a little bit more.
The plane's in the air.
Yeah. Between all the side pots and the high game pots and the brackets. It takes a little bit to organize them, you know.
Yeah.
This is the first time I've really ran a tournament with squads with this much side pot action.
Okay.
So it's just a little bit more moving money around.
Yeah.
I think next time I'm going to try to do 2 or 3 rounds of brackets per squad. I want to start with 1 because, you know, you do games 2 through 4. It gives you a little time by the end of qualifying to already have the brackets ready.
Sure. And I would imagine a lot of guys, you know, these talented guys are interested in getting in the action.
They like side pots.
Yeah.
Rob here on lane 11. He's my hero. Rochester's finest. High average holder at Colonial Lanes. Probably 20, 30, 40 years.
You have good taste.
Straighter and greater. You know,
Yeah.
It's just, he kind of plays within himself. It's kind of simple, but he just repeats, you know.
Yeah. And the results have bared themselves out over years and years of success in CBAs, that's for sure.
He's in the CBA Hall of Fame. We're trying to get him in the State Hall of Fame. That's on the docket. He was on the list a couple of years ago. We got to reapply him. And, you know, I think sometimes when you're outside of the metro area, people don't recognize you as much as maybe other areas, you know.
Sure.
I used to own a pro shop in Rochester for a few years, and I got to drill his bowling balls, which was really easy because he just laid it out for you, and all you had to do is put holes in it.
Just put the holes in.
And he didn't even, no slugs or nothing. He glued his own grips in.
Okay.
And he didn't use a thumb slug, so you just.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's one of the few guys that's still throwing 16 pounds.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, it's a good mix. We got a few guys here from Rochester in the area. I got a few guys from the Owatonna area, a few guys from the metro area, and a couple guys from the lacrosse area.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got Ryan here from Omaha. So I think he took the further. He came the furthest.
Okay.
5 hours or something like that.
Yeah. And Mike Peck said, I think he said both of them are, you know, going back to Lincoln to do a tournament tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
diehards.
But
not like today was any short day.
He expected that one to be a score fest. So
okay.
Quite a contrast, you know, from what we've got going on here.
Usually after you bowl on this, a score fest is even easier than it normally is.
You would think so. Yeah. Helps you get nice and loose the next time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Actually, I got one more funny story about Rob.
Okay.
The last CBA cut, I've made a CBA cut in a long time, but I haven't bowled them for a while. The last CBA cut was at Treasure Island Resort that I made, and Rob made it too.
Okay.
And I proceeded to go 1-9 in match play. And my only win was against Rob.
Uh-oh.
And Rob proceeded to win the tournament, and that would have been his last CBA win.
Oh, wow.
I think he just felt bad for me, and he had some pins to give, you know.
Yeah.
He's a good friend like that.
Yeah. No, excellent player. Very simple game. And very successful. Well, Powers didn't like that, but he caught a break.
I think it's pretty tight there going for that fifth spot.
Yeah.
Stepladder spot.
As you finish up, guys, please remember to bring your recap form up to Mark here at the counter so we can get the stepladder started.
So Ullman with 97 through 5, strike up in the 6th. And great shot, rung the 6 right around the 10. Brady Stearns is finishing on lane 9 right now. He's got a double in the 10th, can hit 199 if he gets that third strike in the fill ball. He's really thrown the ball well today too, but that's no
Yeah,
surprise.
Right, absolutely. There was plenty of guys here that threw the ball pretty well. They just didn't score.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Powers was in 6th place.
That's what I saw after
in
2
the-
games.
Yeah, after 2 in the advancers round. I'm not sure what he shot in the 3rd game. But here, just caught another break on a high hit. And still get north of 200, but he's got to keep striking.
No. So how are you hanging in there? It's been quite the day for you.
It's been a long day, but this is great stuff. I mean, these guys are, they're so good, and it's so much fun to watch.
Got here a little after 7 and
Yeah.
started at 8:30, and Stepladder's almost starting.
Yep. And 4 matches will go by pretty quick.
Yeah, I think
so.
Yep.
Yeah. But no, great to be here. Great to stream this event, and congratulations. I don't want to say that too soon, but congratulations on a great first time event.
Yeah, we want to keep it going, and the one thing me and Bradley talked a little bit is we might review the date a little bit next year for it.
Okay.
We'd like to find a day where maybe there's not a college tournament.
Sure.
Know? It'd be nice to have some of the college kids here too, because Lord knows they like the bowl tournaments.
Oh yeah. And on a shot like this, that
Right.
that
I'm the kind of guy that that's not even over, and I'm reviewing it in my head already for
Yep.
next time.
Yeah. But no, and it's tough. The Midwest Collegiate is a big tier 1 event, but they're just, as you get into the season, the weekends are just few and far
Yeah,
between that there isn't something
absolutely.
else going on. I've talked to Denny Burkhardt about the Chippewa Valley match games a bunch of times, and he says the same thing. It's like, yeah, there's an event here and in North Dakota and Iowa.
Well, and you don't want to step
Wisconsin
on certain people's toes.
Right.
I'm a big advocate for CBAs. I'll never put a tournament on a CBA date.
Yeah.
Maybe a handicap event. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But I would never run a scratch event because
Mhm.
when it comes to like the MJBTs and the CBAs and those kind of tournaments, I'm the ultimate supporter for Darren and Jason. They do a great job with what they do.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you kind of pick in between those,
Mhm. And Ullman snaps out the 10 in his 9th frame. He can still shoot a 214 out there. Not that he needs it, but that's basically been the kind of day he's had. He's 220'd these guys to death, and that's what it's taken here. The guys who are plus, and there's only a few of them.
Yeah, I think overall after qualifying there was 6. I think 6
Okay.
plus guys. Minus 70 was the official number.
The money is counted.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna start working on that. And,
Mucho dinero.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what I said. That's what I told him. I was like, once that's done, then it's kind of like,
Woo-hoo!
Yeah.
so once the step ladder starts, that's when I get to have my first cocktail. It's pretty easy, just hand envelopes out.
Right. Yeah. And fun too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was tournament director Al Houston. I'm not sure. I want to say he's got to be either 195 or 193. I think that was Brady that had the 198.
So we're pretty safe to say that he had at least a 193.
Process of elimination.
But Brandon made a big jump with like a 220, 220, 220, 220.
Yeah.
think he's currently in third.
Okay. And once this final game is over, they will tabulate the scores and let us know who our final 5 is. And those 5 will advance to the Stepladder final, which will be right here on 11 and 12. And you will see Dave Ullman, who just struck in the 10th. For 194. And I think we can safely assume at this point that he'll be the top seed. And we'll see how the rest shakes out. You got guys like Briley and Brady Stearns, Brandon Cryer, all pretty much in there, pretty close.
Mm-hmm. I was trying to watch it with the counter, but everybody is like at their own pace here.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about before, are they going to set their own pace or are they just going to go? And I think it's Saturday night at 7 o'clock. They're just going.
Yep.
You know? Because now we're on to stage 4.
Yeah.
Oh, get the come on, man. Come on.
And yeah, I can get that. Some of these guys have a drive to, to get to their homes or next destinations. So,
Yeah, those guys are Woodbury. Those guys are Sioux Falls or Sioux City. Oh, actually, they're going to Nebraska for a tournament.
That's right. Yeah, Lincoln, he said.
Yeah.
See you guys. We're taking off.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Good to meet you.
Thank you.
I can't say I agree with the Vikings gear, but we'll work on it.
They're going to the home of John Lucido.
Okay. So,
That's awesome.
yeah. Let's see, we've got guys finishing up on the last 4 lanes, 15, 16, 17, 18. And then we will find out who is in our stepladder. But, yeah, some folks.
Brandon Cryer made a big jump. He was in, 8th, 7th, 8th? And he went 220, 220, 220, 220. I think
Yeah.
the last 2 were 225s, and the first 2 were a little bigger than that. So he made a jump up to, I think, 3rd. I'm trying to watch it as it's coming through, but
Yeah, he bowled well. Chad did not. Chad had a rough go those first few games. And
I'm worried about him because he's got a sore hip, and it doesn't seem to be. I mean, it's better than it was when he bowled at Sunray. I saw him at Sunray bowling like a month ago, probably. But it's still not. You could still see he was grabbing it every once in a while, and that happens when you get older.
yes, it does.
And as much as he's bowled and how he bowls, it's got to be very hard on his hip.
Sure.
So.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he's such a trooper. He'll never give up.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to keep going.
And you saw him in qualifying. That last game got him in and gave him the chance to make a run. But
I didn't see. I lost track because I was counting money. This is a good group, though, and they were jumping around a lot.
yeah,
It's just nice to see that, so many people came from such a distance. We had, Superior, Wisconsin. That's a good hike from here, and Sioux City, Iowa, and somebody else came from Wisconsin too.
yep. Well, lacrosse, you had Nick Heileman,
Oh,
who
Crew.
we saw tonight.
Justin came from Winona, so there's quite a few of them that came at least a couple hours.
Little ways, yeah.
I like being in Owatonna. People always think it's so far from the cities.
It's really not.
No, it's not.
It's
I can
really
get to
not.
downtown Minneapolis in less than an hour,
Yeah.
which people, I don't know, they think we're so far down here. We're not.
No.
And it's fun. I love the energy of this place. It's
Yeah.
just keeps getting better and better, and the tournaments are fun, and our tournament team has such a good time together.
Yeah. So Doug Updegraft is just stepping up to throw his fill ball on, cover a spare in his 10th frame on lane 15. And he will be the last to finish here. And then we'll be moving on to the Stepladder final.
Did we see, are the Twins finished? Did we see how
They lost.
They
They lost to Houston. Yeah.
Darn it. Chilly night. I went out and walked around the building, and that would have been a little chilly for watching the game outside.
Okay.
Of course, you're
Yeah,
a Packers fan, so
Right. We're built for this.
I mean, you're used to being outside in the cold.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I went to Schwabadon, and I went right by the stadium, and I'm like, it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, I wish we had football outside still.
Mhm.
I do. I mean, it's U.S. Bank Stadium is amazing, but
Right.
I wish we still had outside football.
Yeah.
There's kind of something about it.
Yeah. But no, the stadium, they've dumped enough money into it that it should be, and it is.
I get it. I know. I have friends that are Minnesota people that are Green Bay Packer fans.
Mhm.
But it's kind of it's like a cult or a cult
Yep.
following kind of. I get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
So
One of our high school kids, just won the World Series of Poker for $800,000.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, Don Luce Sparta. So
was it?
I
Sparta.
thought he was in the lacrosse area, but Sparta's pretty close.
Yeah, that's
so,
even farther.
So yeah, but thanks to all the guys and ladies who have traveled the miles to be here. This was
Drive
a
safe.
really competitive event, and good to see so many talented players here. And now we get the cream of the crop
I
in
know.
the Stepladder final as we await those results.
The best part was to see the wrinkled up faces.
Yeah,
Like, come hell or high water, they were going to figure it out.
they'd find a way. Yeah, but when you're at that level, that's what you do, right? You do everything you can to gain an edge, figure things out, and
I miss it. When I sit
Yeah.
here watching, it's just like, ugh. All right. Another 6 months, I'm bowling it. I don't care what it is.
yeah,
It's just the older you get. I know I keep hitting on the older, but it's like the older you get, the longer it takes to come back.
Sure.
I'm doing squats and yoga and swimming.
that sounds very involved. Very involved.
Well, if I want to come back, I figure I could sit on the couch or I can stop whining about it and get going. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm doing.
Sure.
Well, let's see where they're at.
Yeah. We'll take a little pause here, and once we get those 5 Stepladder finalists, we will let you know, and we'll be back in just a moment. And when I said just a moment, I meant it.
Thanks everybody for coming out. We appreciate it. We're going to start with the 5th seed, Matt Payne, at 1996, with Riley in the 4th seed, Brady in the 3 seed, Pryor in the 2 seed, and Olden in the 1st seed. Matt and Riley want to go to lanes 11 and 12.
So it'll start with Matt Payne and Briley Howe.
Then we'll get started. Just finishing the envelopes.
The 5th and 4th seeds, respectively.
You can use 17, 18 as a get loose pair too if you're in the Stepladder. It's a good seed.
So we're getting warmed up. Can I hang out of this? Yeah? All right. Then I will. So the guys will get warmed up here. Okay. So Lana Bear says, go Dave. And Dave will have one match to determine whether he finishes first or second. D. Kozlak wants to know, who are the top 5? I'll tell you. It's Dave Ullman's the top seed. You got Brandon Cryer in the 2nd seed. Brady Stearns is 3rd. Briley Howe is 4th. And Matt Payne is 5th. The first match will put Payne versus Howe. And right now they're throwing a few practice shots to get warmed up.
The girls at the counter have been changing the graphic every time there was a change in squads or event.
Okay.
Now we have pool tables.
Oh.
You could probably go ask them to remove that.
Yeah. Can kind of run down the rest of the finishers while we're waiting to start here. You've got the 6th place finisher, Nick Heilman, who was 10 pins off the number. Chad Nelson in 7th, Ryan Powers in 8th, Jared Bushman 9th, Phil Stellmaker 10th, Kehoe 11th, Rob Downer 12th, Brandon Hasley 13th, Doug Updegraft 14th, Cody Larson 15th, Don Luce 16th, and Ryan Burr rounds out the advancers round participants in 17th place.
Well, and the nice thing is the low side of that is about 350.
Okay.
So that's worth hanging out for the day and finishing 17th.
Plenty of money to be made. All right. They're going to wait to get those scores cleared, and we are going to get it going. Winner of this match will take on Brady Stearns. That winner gets Brandon Cryer, and the winner of that will take on our top seed, Dave Ullman. Again, for those of you just joining us, we are starting up our Stepladder final. These guys have gone through 6 games of qualifying. Some have bowled twice. 1 and 4 have made it to the advancers round, where we had 4 games that just wrapped up. And now we're in our opening match of the Stepladder final, where Matt Payne will try and tackle a 2-4-5. And takes care of that. So he will finish up on lane 12. Meanwhile, here's our 4 seed, Briley Howe. Crosses over to the 1-2, leaves the 9 pin. If you've been watching through the course of the day, you know that Briley was our top seed after the first squad of qualifying at 40 over. And takes care of the spare. Dave Ullman was the one player who qualified with a higher total, and it was 99 pins higher. Howe makes good on that second shot on lane 11. Howe spoke with us earlier as we got going in the B squad of qualifying.
Thanks for everything.
You bet. Talked about working his way through the transition here on this U.S. Open pattern. He runs Champions Pro Shop here at Spare Time Entertainment Center, but made clear that he is not running this tournament. That's Al Houston, who you've heard from a couple times during the course of the day. And Payne covers the spare. He's got 18 in the first with that spare up, and he'll go to work in the third frame on lane 11. Certainly some contrast in the two styles. Payne going a little more direct, and Howe kind of floating it out there a little farther. up high and leaves a 310. And takes care of that 310. So keeps it clean through the first three. If you hear bowling ball going down the lane or some pinfall off camera, that's Brady Stearns, our third seed, off on the practice pair, which is on 17 and 18. And Howe imploring that one to keep right, leaving himself a makeable spare there.
Trying to keep those going as long as they can.
Yeah, literally.
Trying to beat the floor.
Good compliments in the crowd, and they're also loving that we added you.
Well, thank you.
We added the FEF to the group.
Yeah.
The FEF to our tournament team.
Briley chopped the head pin off that spare, so he'll try and hit another strike on 11 like he did back in the second.
Come on, Brian. Yeah. There you go.
Buried that one. Yeah, he's got the look on 11. Now he's got to figure out 12. So as you can see, he's got 46 through 3 with that strike up in the fourth. Now here's Matt Payne looking to jump into a 10-pin lead with a strike here. Up high and left a 3-6-10. I was talking a little bit about the contrast in styles. Riley's kind of bellying it out a little more. Payne going a little more direct.
We saw that all day today.
Yeah.
But that's what's really great about being a coach is, you know, you're better off to fine-tune someone's abilities than to go against what makes them feel right.
Sure. Well,
Oh,
push
man.
that one off to the right. And that's an open frame, so he'll have 62 through 4.
$8:30. What the heck? You've been at this for 12 hours.
Oh, I suppose so.
I shouldn't have brought it to your attention.
Just another day in the life, you know.
Oh, yay!
Crossed over and carried out the 6.
Come on, come on, come on. Ah.
Well, up high and pays the maximum penalty with the big 4. It's never easy when you got one lane down and just can't seem to
What the heck was
figure
that?
out the other. So 68 through 5. And that gives Payne the lead sitting on the bench.
Hold.
Up high
They're
and
makeable.
yep, up to 3-6.
I feel like I've been in this position before.
Missing the bowling ball.
You got the balls on. Balls on.
Remember how I said 11 and 12 are an old married couple?
Mhm.
I think they're fighting. Chris came up from the back and he's like, Grandpa and Grandma are not happy. It's funny how you take, one pair of lanes in the house, and
Yeah.
it's great that you're here, and they've been running really well. But
Mhm.
TV pair, and that's when it's going to break down. Right?
Sure. Yeah, Murphy's Law.
They've been pretty happy all day today.
Yeah.
I laugh because I'm like 1,000% convinced that this bowling center is haunted by the past owner, Mary
Really?
Stotts. Oh, yeah. Because lane 2 will turn on by itself, and they'll check all the electrical, and there'll be nothing wrong with it.
Really?
And then it'll just turn on by itself, and it'll shut off by itself.
Huh.
And we talked to Mary. One day I was down here with League, and 15 was just acting up completely. We had 3 or 4 guys that had been former mechanics here, all running down there trying to take care of it in between bowling. And it just wouldn't work. And then I stood back there. I'm like, Mary, can you help us with this, please? I'd really like 15 to run the rest of the night. And it never broke down again.
You couldn't tell me this stuff during daylight hours?
Thanks for having us, y'all.
Oh, she's friendly. It's okay.
Okay, good.
It does get a little creepy, though, when you're here by yourself and lane 2 comes on. But
Yeah. All right, there's a spare for Howe. 68 through 5 with a spare up in the 6th. Now here's Matt Payne working on that 5th frame strike. He can really start turning the screws if he hits another strike or 2 here. And looked a little left off his hand and went up high, left him a 6-pin.
both of them are really having trouble staying off the head pin.
Yeah.
Part of it could be a very long day because they've been here since 8 o'clock this morning.
Sure. Okay. Covered up the spare. So he's got 82 through 5. That spare up in the 6th frame. As we head into the 7th. Each of these guys has only struck once so far. Up high again. Another 6-pin. You kind of get the feeling that, you know,
What was
maybe all it's going to take is one of these guys to hit a quick double. And
Yeah. They're kind of playing the no, you take it game. No,
Right.
you take it. But you think
covers
about
up
it.
that 6-pin.
Some of these tournaments out there on the Pro Tour, I think it's the U.S. Open. I think if you go all the way to the end of the U.S. Open, it's like 52 games or
Yeah.
54 games. That's insanity.
It's a lot of bowling.
That is massive conditioning.
Yeah. All right, here's Howe in the 7th.
Stay right. There we go.
And flushed it.
You say it, I can't. Here's my prediction. He'll strike on this lane, and then Matt will double. He'll be right back in it.
Sure.
Oh, come on.
Imploring that 8-pin to just fall over, but it does not. And covers it up. So he's got 108 through 7, spare up in the 8th. So if he takes it off the sheet, he's still got 188 out there. And that means Payne would need to double in there somewhere.
Ooh, that looks better. Oh.
No,
Well, that time it stayed right.
stayed right. Yeah. 128. Ooh. He knew that was a little left and gave it the body English and took it down. So
Thanks for a
he's
little
got
slide on that.
He's got a 10-pin lead going into the 9th. Does Briley.
The loser of this match goes home with $700. I would take it.
That's a nice parting gift.
Oh, yeah!
Got the 10 out there. So, like I said before, Howe can go off the sheet for 188. He cannot shut out Matt Payne. He can force him to double in the 10th if he puts his striking shoes on right now.
Yeah.
Aces that one. So he's still got 188 up there if he can get all three in the 10th. Well, ring 10. So oh, and he flagged it.
Oh, darn it. Not meant to
Yeah.
be.
Yeah. As you could hear the sound of 2 bowling balls bouncing down the settee area, that pretty much tells you all you need to know about that. As long as Matt gets some count here, he's moving on to face Brady Stearns.
That was kind of a shoulda, woulda, coulda 8-pin and 10-pin.
And count he did. So it'll be Matt Payne versus Brady Stearns in our second match here.
Makes it a little easier when Matt finishes out this way.
Yeah. So he finishes out with a 195, and that's good enough to move on. And Matt will be taking on our 3 seed, Brady Stearns, and Briley will go home with, he said, 700. So a nice payday for
I wish
Briley
he was going
Howell.
to my home with the 700.
So not a bad deal, though. I mean, the sponsorship only costs them 300, right?
There you go.
Yeah. Look on the bright side.
Well, really, being it's split 3 ways, it cost me 300 and
Okay.
Fred 300 and Briley 300. So Briley
Okay.
made 400.
Yeah.
And wait a minute. Does that mean I should get a cut?
I think you should get a cut.
I think so.
Yeah.
There's got to be an angle in there somewhere.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so Brock wants to know if Briley is going to retire again.
Briley?
Maybe
Brock
we can.
Hoagland wants to know if you're going to retire again. Probably.
Probably. I'll tell you what, ask him again in about, 36 hours?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see if he has a different answer.
He retires weekly.
Okay.
You know, we were talking about it, though. It's like he started bowling when he was 2.5 years old, and he's 24. So really, for the normal person, he's been
That's
bowling more
quite
than
a career,
20 years,
yeah.
you know? If he wants to go golf, he deserves to go golf.
Mhm.
Ew.
He was talking about that bowling and golfing event that Al held, and how it rained and rained.
It didn't rain and rain. It poured
Okay.
and poured. Like, it was the worst rain I think we've ever had. And they golfed through it.
Yeah.
It's like they were so excited about the tournament that they golfed through it.
Sure.
Like, they came here and everybody was just soaking wet. I can't remember who it was. Somebody had to run to Walmart to get underwear because they brought a change of clothes but forgot underwear. But, you know, it makes for a good story.
Yeah.
You know? Something to remember.
Sure. So again, these are just a couple practice shots. They get 2 on each lane. And then we'll clear the scores and get to business.
Brady looks like he's going to be a little bit more lined up on this than. Oh, Matt finished with the back 6, 5.
He had I think a 2.45 in the fill ball. So he had a few in there, but.
I think it's kind of strange that Matt gets another 2 balls.
Yeah, a little bit. All right, so we will get the scores cleared, figure out who is kicking things off in this match and on which lane. And we'll get into it.
Are you coming to Mark's induction to the Hall of Fame?
That's a good question. I would certainly like to. Alexandria is not exactly right next door.
Maybe we can get the state of Minnesota to offset it. You can
Ooh.
videotape or live stream the
Induction speeches?
Yeah. I'd love that.
As long as we got decent internet up there where you are. I like the way you're thinking.
See? I only have one finger up in the air.
Right. So Matt Payne starting things off on lane 11. Goes up high, leaves a 4-7. And both of these guys with pretty good history of success in Central Bowlers Alliance events. So now Brady Stearns will get things underway on lane 12. Brady has many, many tournament wins. He has a sanctioned 900 series. And a lineage in bowling that spans generations. Also, he's one of Brady Gustafson's heroes.
And that's the one I would go with.
Right, yeah. There's a flush strike for him on lane 11, and he starts out with a double, grabs a quick 10-pin lead.
In practice, Brady just looked a little bit more lined up.
Yeah.
A little more relaxed, too.
Sure. Looks like Matt's doing something with maybe some new skin on his finger. You ever do the thing with that stuff where you light it on fire? No? Yes, you did. I never have.
What a trooper. We fed Christina, the waitress, here all day today, too. She's
Yeah?
been helping out. The server, I mean, not the waitress, server.
Oh, got that to the pocket and did not benefit. An 8-10 split. And we've seen a few of those today. You kind of take that risk when you play that fadeaway line, but
I still think the best one, though, is when Don Luce went through the 2-7.
yeah. Also converted the 1-5-7 in the same game. Or 1-5-10, I'm sorry.
Oh,
That was better hit and got the desired result. 27-2 with a strike in the third. Now Stearns working on a double.
whoever advances to both Brandon, I know he's been sitting for a couple games, but he was so lined up.
Mm-hmm. And his side of the lane has been, well, pretty much untouched since game 3 of the advancers round. Up high and leaves just the 6 pin. I'd like to give a big thank you to that chair behind us because that's the only thing that's prevented people from tripping over my little plug there.
From unplugging you.
And that's what's kept us online.
Do you have tomorrow off?
Yes, I do.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
I know
I
when
do.
I went to Jayhawk and drove straight back, they were all laughing at me. They're, you're going to drive 6 hours straight home? And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm used to it.
Yeah.
I do this all the time.
When I get home. Oh, and a messenger to take down the 10. You could tell he was a little unsure, but got a nice break.
Nice messenger.
Opens up a healthy lead now.
I said when the kids were younger, a lot of this group that's here, there's probably 5, 6 of them that I would take to the Greater Iowa tournament. And we'd get in the car. They'd all go to sleep at 4 o'clock in the morning. And I would drive.
Wow.
Yep. Sometimes they'd go down the night before, but a lot of times they'd get up in the morning, especially if it was in Waterloo.
Yeah.
But that highway, 27 that goes from Mason City over to Waterloo, I used to call that roadkill highway. Because at 4 o'clock in the morning, the only thing you see are beady little eyes in the ditch.
Yuck.
Nobody else is driving at that hour.
Yuck.
It was fun.
Uh-oh. That's a problem. Yeah.
Did you see what
That-
the monitor just said? A lucky give tips on how to pick it up. It
Sure.
said, a lucky bounce of the 7 will take out the 10.
Okay. Well,
Let's see if Matt plays it correctly.
If anybody's got the ball speed to do it.
Oh.
Good try at it, but
Would we had to have a ruling if he'd have picked that up?
a ruling?
Well, somebody was the computer was coaching him on how to pick it up.
Well, PBA tour, they've got ball reps. We've got the
We got
We've
the
got the-
Conquer monitor.
yeah.
Oh. Hold.
All right, got the 4 out there and a high hit, so he's gonna have to get lined up on that tricky lane for him, lane 12, and start a string here because Brady does not look to be slowing down. Oh, snapped out another 10. 6 went to the gutter, but pushed it on over. And he's cooking. Christopher Jones says, now if only lane 12 will stay working now.
Yeah. We have to get them marriage counseling.
Right.
Oh.
Well, caught a break, and it's 3 in a row.
Look at the difference in the energy. Brady is conserving his energy, and Matt is using more energy.
He got that one aced, so he's got to double up, but he's got a lot of work to do and needs some help. Off to the right on lane 18, you've got the 2 seed, Brandon Cryer. Get some practice balls in. And leaves a 4 pin on 11. What does the 4th place finisher go home with?
$800.
$800. Okay.
Not bad.
Okay. And there's a spare. So Payne with 104 through 6 and a spare up. Can still go sheet for 214, but if Brady's trajectory continues, that will not be enough.
Brady just looks locked and lucky,
Yeah,
and you can't beat lucky.
you can't beat lucky, but
No
boy,
matter how hard you try.
he stuck that one in just the right spot. Up high leaves a 4-pin.
That one he got rolling just a little bit earlier.
Mhm. And it's so tough to tell whether it's, can you get a little swing room or a little tug room? It's tough to tell.
And today's shot was not forgiving.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you're bowling, you can mentally check out a little bit and still be okay. But today, if you
Yeah.
checked out at all, it was a 160 game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
That was the slow wheel, he says.
Ah!
So now the brakes are coming.
Whoever wins this match goes up against Brandon Cryer, and we'll see where he plays because he was really playing up the sticks.
Yeah.
And out to 1-2-1, and I'm kind of wondering. He's had a couple gutters. If he's going to move in a little bit or stay out there.
Mm-hmm.
Mentally, is it going to affect him?
Sure. And another flush strike. Chris Jones says, nice break for him there, meaning Matt Payne's break. But unfortunately for him, it's probably not going to be enough. All Brady needs is basically keep it on the lane here, and he's going to be moving on.
Very welcome. Thank you, Chad.
I got to go up and bolt against tomorrow.
Oh, no.
Up high, and that should be enough. He'll take on our number 2 seed, Brandon Cryer. Matt will go home with, said, 800. So a handshake, and Matt Payne will end up finishing 4th. As we move on to our semifinal match here, where Brady Stearns will take on Brandon Cryer. And the guys will throw some practice balls. Cryer, the lone lefty in our field, in our stepladder field, that is. The winner of this match will take on our top seed, Dave Ullman. Cryer was the one who really made the biggest swing in the advancers round. Started out in the 8th seed, went 227, 226, 225, 225, and shot him all the way up to the 2 seed, where he is right now. Brandon, also the only one in our stepladder field to have appeared on the show. I mentioned that a time or two before. He came on live with me on a day that ended up being the very day after he won his first CBA title. Man, and you can see that those last couple boards got some movement on the left. All right. So the practice shots are done. They'll clear out the scores and get ready to do battle in this semifinal match. Brock says he will live throwing it to the 1 board. And that's what we've seen him do most of the day. He did it with plastic in qualifying, made the switch to a reactive bowling ball, and just ran him over in the advancers round. And a big thanks to all of you who are watching us live here. If you like what you see, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. Doesn't cost you anything. Mean a lot to me. And that one jumped off that gutter real hard, right through the face for a 4, 6, 7, 8, 10.
I think it's funny that Christopher Jones is commenting, who is our mechanic back behind lane 12, keeping the married couple happy.
Yeah. And just got the 7 out, so slow start. He'll have to get back on track in the second. Now Brady Stearns, who really dominated that last match.
He just looks so good. I think it's going to be hard to beat him.
Oh, but he went through the face. Left a big split of his own. 6-7-10. Off to the right. You can hear the pinfall. That's our top seed, Dave Ullman, who really wasn't challenged a whole lot during the course of this tournament.
No, he walked through pretty easy.
Cryer ended up 55 below him, which was quite a charge. But now it'll be down to one game for him to determine whether he's champion or runner-up, as Stearns pushes it past the 6 and ends up with 8. So a couple of opens to start things off. Brock says this will be a low-scoring match.
I don't know. I think they're both going to get it and take off.
Find it interesting that he threw the shot with the rake still up on 12. But he did, and left flat 10. Suppose everybody's a little different in that regard. I might have held up, but, you know. And there's a spare. And I got to mention the setup here is really great because you've got this whole section really blocked off for the tournament. Yet you've still got open play on the 4 lanes on the other side of the wall. But as for us here, it's all eyes on the semifinal match. That time was a little light, left a 3-7.
The nice thing about this bowling center is we can do this for a tournament because people coming in can go over and play laser tag, or they can take their kids into the kiddie casino.
Sure.
There's plenty of things to do while they wait.
Still plenty to do, yeah. And that's that balance that we talked about, you know, fun for the family, but also a great focus on competitive sport. Wow.
Oh.
That's one way to pick it up. Pin kind of double kissed, the ball double kissed the pin and shot it right over into the 7.
I'd like to see a replay on that, please.
Christopher says that he loves that it's giving them hints on the spares.
Whoa. This is what I was a little worried about.
And it looked like the ball was starting to make that turn, but just fell off the cliff. I don't know if you caught that, but over on 15 and 16, a kid ran into the settee area and his mother pulled him back. I'm guessing Brandon didn't notice that, but
good thing.
Yeah. Oh,
You know, though, he stayed so nice and calm because you have to expect that when you're playing out there that far.
yep.
It's just, it's going to happen, you know?
But made a great shot to follow it up.
Absolutely.
Got the spare. And I remember him doing that at least one other time in the advancers round. Got her on the first ball, but picking up the spare. Brock claims it was a bad rack as Brady goes up high, leaving a 6-pin. Oh, just takes down the spare. Got that a little right, but not enough to matter. So Brady with an 11-pin lead going into the fourth.
I went to check on our little mini runner that was headed towards 15, but he's distracted at another end of the bowling center now.
Okay.
So,
Sawed out the center of that rack, and he's back in business. Wow. It was close, but it held on. And
again,
man,
we need a replay system here.
yeah. We're
I'm
on a
thinking
low
3/4
budget
of the ball
setup
was
here.
on the outside of the lane.
Yeah.
That was a little bit further on my team course, so I'm sure I can figure it out.
Okay.
Get my stuff set up.
Oh. Oh.
Oh.
Wow. Great shot, but ball charged right past the 8. It's like every shot you kind of
Ay.
brace yourself as it heads towards the ditch, but he puts a lot on it.
Well, you don't see that with a left-hander very often, that they get that far out, you know?
So the latest from two very well-known bowling families in this state, Brandon Cryer, the son of John Cryer Jr., Brady Stearns, grandson of Bob Stearns. Kyle says, someone give that kid a wheelbarrow. All right, so a 1-2-4-8 to deal with here for Brady Stearns, who really hasn't missed the pocket all that much, let alone the head pin. Takes plastic, makes quick work of the spare. So an 11-pin lead for Brady Stearns as we move on to the 6th frame. Again, this is the semifinal match at the Champions Pro Shop Open, first time event, and the first jewel in the quadruple crown. Up high and leaves a 3-6. Oh, and he chopped it. Chopped it. Pushing plastic to the right. Just not the kind of break you want in a tight match like this. So he's got 94 through 6. Here comes Brandon Cryer in the 6th frame on lane 12. Yep, he got that inside his target and he waved it goodbye. Brock says he stands by his earlier statement. It's certainly bearing out, yeah. But that's why you're such a great ball rep, Brock. You know what's going to happen. And that one didn't climb the hill, so an open frame. And he's down 16. Hand pink waving. Brock says he only knows a thing or two because he's seen a thing or two. And that was dead solid perfect. Came right off the gutter, snapped off the 7. Am I supposed to sing the jingle here? Is that what you're telling me?
Pretty sure my heart like skips a little bit of a beat when it gets that far out.
Yeah. Light hit, splashes the 4-5-7.
I hate to say Brock was right.
He said he stands by his earlier statement.
Yeah, kind of hurts me a little bit.
I told him that's why he's such a great ball rep. He knows what's going to happen.
Like his comment, I know a thing or two because I've seen a thing or two. Really? Brock, like you haven't seen it? Come on, I'm like 30 years older than you are. Guarantee you. Actually, I'm probably 40 years older than you. We'll go with 30.
Sure. Gets another light shaker to carry. And it's a key double as Brandon steps up in the 8th. Takes a re-rack. Oh, sent the messenger in front of the 7. Great shot, though. So gets the spare. All right, 9th frame. And he needs to start striking right now if he wants to have a chance. Got that one. So he's got a possible 178. Brady can go 9 spare, strike spare for 184. So he's got to stick another strike in there somewhere. Oh, no, he doesn't. He just needs to stay clean, really. And he stuck one in there anyway.
Sideways. One leg sitting off the other side.
And mixed them up again. So that'll do it. And it's going to be Brady Stearns against our top seed, Dave Ullman, for the Champions Pro Shop title. Brandon Cryer will go home with a nice payday of $900.
Nice shot.
Yeah, there were not a lot of lefties in this field, but
No,
I'll tell you what.
we had no award. I can't think of who else is lefty.
But man, on those pairs when he had a look, he really made it count. And like I said, $900, nothing to sneeze at.
No.
So
I know. I
Brandon,
really thought in the advancer round, as lined up as Brandon was, I thought he was just going to walk right through it.
sure.
But, you know, sometimes when you sit a little bit,
And on top of that, you got to get through Brady Stearns. You got to get through Dave Ullman. And I don't care who you are. That's a tough task.
most definitely.
Yeah. So Cryer finishes in third. And that leaves us with our championship match all set. It'll be Brady Stearns, the 3 seed, taking on Dave Ullman for the championship.
"13 hours later."
Yeah. We'll take a quick pause here.
All right, we're on the finals. Teammates and friends. Ball. Mark, gonna call a ball.
We've been talking about 11 and 12, how the old married couple's been getting along most of the day, and now they're unhappy again.
Yeah, Brent donated a case of beer for the top 3 finishers. Had to give, I gave it to his boyfriend. He's 21.
Ah.
I think he's the only one.
All right. So the guys are practicing. Lucas Hersrud on the live chat saying, "Go Brady Stearns, you're my hero." I get the feeling that Brady Stearns is a lot of bowlers' heroes. But this is
Lucas, were you bowling today?
this is going to be a great match between 2 of Minnesota's best. And he says, "My team was not me."
Oh, come on.
My team was not me. Need the right emphasis on the right syllable. Syllable. Yeah. So anyway, back to the matter at hand. 2 guys who have certainly been in plenty of situations like this before.
I see this being a very, very relaxed finale.
Yeah, neither of these guys seem to get too high or too low. At least not outwardly.
And they've been here so often.
Yeah. And you got to think that whoever wins this match has got to be extremely satisfied with the win over the other. Yeah, maybe about 15 or so people here in the concourse looking on. A few of the bowlers from the day's events here. Staff looking on. Looks like Dave has elected to let Brady start things on lane 11. So here we go. The championship match for all the marbles. That ball set up really nice right in the pocket. Just kept going and going and going until it needed to make that sharp turn right at the 3-pin. Dawson Peterson cheering on Brady Stearns. And now we get our first look at Dave Ullman. So he starts on lane 12, goes right through the face for a 4.67. So Ullman absolutely dominated in the qualifying, finishing 99 pins higher than the field. He gained 14 more plus pins in the advancers round, finishing at plus 153 for the day. And he starts out the championship match with an open. Dave, as Terry has mentioned a few times, has those Owatonna roots.
What was that?
Owatonna roots.
Yep. I feel bad for you with your drive. I said for the first time in a long time, I have 15 minutes at the most.
Yeah. Well, look, there are guys who have a longer drive than I do from here. So
This is true.
no, I'm just glad to have the opportunity. This is a fun day, and
Well, we love having you here.
yeah. As Ullman covers up the spare.
It just adds such an additional layer of credibility, I guess.
Sure.
I don't know.
And it's cool to see that we've got the live viewership that we do, and you know that's thanks to all of you watching on YouTube. Again, we're in our championship match here. Brady Stearns and Dave Ullman competing for $1,300. That one went a little high.
You can tell right away when he gets it down just a little bit early.
Mm-hmm.
Rolls a little bit, gets a little high.
Sure. And takes down the 4-pin. He'll have an early lead going into frame number 3. stuck another one on that left lane, just like he did in the first.
The graphic is even adding it for us.
Yeah, when up high, leaving a 3-6-10. Boy, when Brady hits that solid strike, it's 10 back, and you feel like there's a select group that kind of get the pins to do that. I don't know how to describe it any further, but
10 back.
if you know, you know. Yeah.
I'm surprised the peanut gallery over here to the right is being as quiet as they are. Led by Elijah Raymond.
They know the gravity of the situation. And up high again for another 3-6-10. And this is really the first time all day that Dave is going to have to claw back, maybe get some help, and find a way to gain an advantage, because he's had it all day long.
All day. He was so nice and loose in practice. I thought he was just going to walk right through this.
Bring up, I'm dead. Come on, this way. Come on, Jimmy. You run your fat ass on the rail. Come on.
Up high and leaves the 6-10. So 2 great shots with great results on 11, but it's 12 that's causing him a little problem right now. Hard and straight at the spare and takes them both down. You're watching the championship match at the Champions Pro Shop Open live here at Spare Time Entertainment Center in Owatonna, Minnesota. We've got the 3-seed Brady Stearns up in the 5th frame, taking on our top seed Dave Ullman.
You got it, Mark.
And
Oh, he's already, oh, never mind. He was up.
the rake on 12 is stuck, and Brady's going to wait for that to clear. Oh, and now that lane cycled, so Brady put his ball back down on the approach, or on the ball return.
No, Chris was back. He
Got
was
himself
standing here a minute ago.
reset.
I was back watching the littles because
I saw.
little boy.
Yeah.
Come on, Grandma. We only need you for a few more frames.
I feel like he's got a touch more hold on that left lane. I'm like not 100% positive, but this is kind of what it seems like. Looked like Holman was a little off balance on that one, but went up high, just left the 6. Covers the spare, and he's down a few, but because Brady hasn't found that other lane, he hasn't found lane 12 yet. It's still keeping him in the match.
My guess is it's going to be like the last game, the last match. It's going to break open in the 6th, 7th frame, 7th, 8th.
Oh, that one just did not finish. Left an 8-10.
Oh boy.
So he gets the count. He'll have 89 through 6. And now Stearns up in the 6th with a strike up in the 5th. He can really start to ratchet up the pressure with another strike or two. And he got it.
Now he's figured out
Both lanes. Yep.
I said last match was the same way. It was kind of the 5th, 6th, 7th when all of a sudden it opened up.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming Dave's going to open up here shortly too.
Oh, didn't quite get the hold on that one. And of a 4-7.
It seems so touchy at the pocket.
Yeah.
I wonder, though, you think about it, Brandon threw a plastic ball on this pair.
Yeah.
And that's almost what it looks like. It just seems like it's been pushed down. It's sloppy on the end.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Dave.
Dave Ullman's 7th frame,
Oh,
and he found it.
he needs this one.
Up high and a 6-10.
No pressure, but professional bowlers convert this pair 92.9% of the time.
I'll take your word for it, Randy. All right. So 109 through 7 with a spare up in the 8th. And Brady Stearns has a commanding lead right now. And Ace is 1 on 12.
Chris, did you get ball in 11?
So just waiting for Stearns' ball to come back. And then he'll move on to his 9th frame.
You say copy?
He's not responding to the comment. He's just going back and seeing the legs moving.
I can see it moving. Okay, it's coming.
It's that. It's that.
Just that right, say copy. Just say copy.
She just couldn't take it. She needed attention. Playing 12.
I can go fix stuff or whatever. It's not a big deal. I don't want to make this
Think so?
Oh, got that kick on the 4. Christopher Jones is not happy, but but Brady Stearns sure is. So really just needs to keep it on the lane in the 10th, and he will be your Champions Pro Shop Open champ as Dave Ullman flushes one in the 9th.
So we're wrapping up. Thanks, Feth, for
You
everything.
bet. You betcha.
Oh, nice.
And a 9 to finish things out for Dave Ullman, a 188. And really a great performance. I mean, he went through the entire field in the qualifying and the advancers round, but it's going to be Brady Stearns, your inaugural Champions Pro Shop Open champion. And as the stepladder wore on, I mean, he just kept getting better.
Know it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a trivia question 5 years down the road. Who won the inaugural
Who won it
match?
first?
The inaugural tournament.
Yeah.
Play the lane, all of it.
But it doesn't matter. 226 to 188. Brady Stearns wins the first ever Champions Pro Shop Open. As he gives a smile.
Look at Briley's giving out official jerseys to the winner.
Handshakes and pictures all around.
Everybody's got the.
If anyone
Champions
deserves
Pro
a
Shop
shirt, it's
sweatshirts
you.
Except for me. Nobody thinks of me ever.
There's tournament director Al Houston setting up for picture with the champ.
It wasn't me by myself.
The real question is why the Champions Pro Shop sweatshirt?
Because my son just never thinks of me, I guess. I'll get one. I know. I need
So congratulations to
I have a good
Brady
team.
Stearns,
Good team assembled.
who comes through, and
Very welcome.
congratulations to our runner-up, Dave Ullman.
Isn't it?
Fantastic performance by both bowlers. Brady says, "My hero."
Thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah. After the pictures are taken and the checks are handed out, we're going to see if we can get our champion here for a couple words.
Pure awesomeness.
Give me a second. We'll see if we can get him for a quick interview.
All right. Well, good work, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Right here. Have a seat, and I'll switch cameras here. There we go. I think we're in frame, halfway lit up and all that good stuff. But Brady Stearns, our inaugural champion. Congratulations, first of all.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. What's it feel like to win this thing?
Man, well, I started at 1:30. Thankfully, I didn't bowl the morning shift because now it's 10 o'clock. It's been a long day because we're having to throw 2 shots all the time. So, no, it feels fantastic. Anytime you can bowl on something like this where it's just that hard and you can basically survive mentally, physically, emotionally, it's awesome.
Sure. You came in as the 3 seed. You had that match against Brandon. Looked like it kind of went sideways for him a little bit, and you kind of held the course.
I tried to, yeah. The first game I had a pretty good look for the most part, and then all of a sudden the ball started to like really dig and like 5 feet before my break point, or what felt like my break point. So I kept trying to inch left because anytime I tried to make a big move today, it was just way too much.
Mm-hmm.
But for whatever reason, I had to make a big move, and I just was kind of probably 2-3 frames late. So
Okay.
and I chopped that spare there, but yeah, luckily found it and guessed right.
Yeah. And then in the championship match, it seemed like you had one lane but not the other for a little while there.
Yeah, the left lane when I first got here, the left lane was hooking about 2-3 more than the right lane. And then all of a sudden, they both started to hook. And then I kept kind of playing them the same as I was making my moves left. But then 12 kind of caught up to 11 there at the end. And that was kind of what was going on there. I didn't think that was going to quite blow up like that. But, I mean, they were hooking quite a bit.
Yeah. You look at the way that Dave really just dominated this event the whole way until the final. I mean, you had to expect he was going to put up a number there.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been bowling really good lately. He bowled phenomenal today, the entire day. I mean, anytime you got it's tough when you're the 1 seed like that. And you got a little bit of a break and you haven't bowled in a little while. I mean, you could throw your practice shots and everything, but I mean, it's still not quite the same as getting into a little bit of a rhythm and stuff like that. So, but no, Dave bowled incredible all day. To be able to go 150 over or whatever he did on that, I mean, God, that's insane. That's nuts. So.
Yeah. Like I've mentioned all day, inaugural event, first time thing. I mean, what would you say to Al and the folks who are running this thing?
Fantastic tournament. We always love coming down here. I mean, thank you to Spare Time, Champions Pro Shop, Briley, his family, you for live streaming this, everybody here. I mean, it really felt like a big tournament. It is a big tournament. So hopefully we can keep this going, and I can't imagine that there won't be more entries next year.
Yeah,
if they keep having this. So
the wheels are already turning in
there'll be more entries next year for sure
in the Howe camp. Yeah. So what's next for you?
Bowl the CBA MJBC doubles in the morning.
Okay.
So that's on the agenda for tomorrow. So thankfully that one's only 20 minutes from home instead of 2 hours. So
there you go.
Try to get home and get some sleep.
There you go. Well, get on the road and have a safe trip back.
Thank you very much. Good seeing you.
Good to see
always.
you.
So,
yeah, Brady Stearns,
thank
your
you.
2023 Champions Pro Shop Open Champ. We appreciate the time. There's the logo.
Thanks, Briley, for the shirt.
Front and center on the shirt. And that's going to do it for us here. Really appreciate all of you who tuned in both live and on replay. It was a great time. We hope to see you again on our next event in the Quadruple Crown, and that is the Match Games in Rochester at Colonial Lanes in December. Sure hope to see you there. Until then, this is Andrew Pfeffer on the Bowling with the Pfeff channel. Have a great night, everyone.